So the whole process this week has been able to get you comfortable with Photoshop and feeling good with Photoshop, okay? Because we're not going to cover it a ton.
I was until
all right?
grade.
So, all right? The first step is to complete this tutorial, which is, again, another compositing tutorial. Chances are some of the stuff that's in this you've already done, and so you can move pretty quickly through it. Once you complete it, all right, you are going to begin to create your own composite image using whatever 5 images you want, okay? So to start that process, I've given you the size that I want, okay? So on Friday it says it's a new Photoshop file that is 10 by 8 and 300 dpi. Jordan, you paying attention? Because you're going to be the first person to ask me what size it is, okay? So it's 10 by 8. In design land, which is our land, the width of an item always comes first. So if I say it's 8 by 10, that means it's 8 by 10. But I'm saying it's 10 by 8. Everybody understand? All right? So to start this process in Photoshop, the first thing you're going to do is create a new document. You're going to create a new document that is switching over to inches. If we leave it in pixels, your document's going to be about that big. Okay? And you'll know because you'll start to draw something and all of a sudden everything will be huge. Right? Change it. Change it to inches. Okay? The width is going to be 10. The height's going to be 8. And the resolution is going to be 300. Now, I've set the resolution at 300. Anything from 300 up is fine. But that's up to you. I just said the default is 300 dpi. So it's 8, 10 inches, 300. Everything else is the same. You click create. So this is your new document. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead right off the start and save this. All right. And I'm just going to call it Belzati Comp because it's easy. Save it as a Photoshop file. So now I need 5 images. I want to create a composite. I don't even care what your composite is. Okay, as long as it's school appropriate, you can put a bunch of things together. All right? Yes?
Do they have to be 5 different images?
Yes.
Or can I have like 5 images of the same person?
Well, that's up to you, but it does have to be photographic. I don't want any cartoons. Okay, I want photographs. Okay? Cartoons are for Illustrator. Photographs are for Photoshop. Okay?
So if I was going to put poop in there, I have to put real poop.
Yes, but I would rather you not. Okay, so let's get started in how we're going to do this because I know this is going to be a question and you're going to get images that are really low resolution and really, really all that. All right? So let's say I wanted to use Jurassic Park as the background of my image. All right? All right, I'm going to choose Jurassic Park. I'm going to click Images. Okay? The base image search is to go to Tools, Size, Large. You may or may not remember that. All right? When I hover over an image, all right, mine's not doing it right now, it'll tell you, there it is. It'll tell you the size of the image, okay? Now, this one is 2400 by 1350, which is pretty good in terms of pixels, all right? Remember that this isn't the image. This is a preview of the image. There's a few ways to go about getting an image. The easiest way I have is I right-click on it, and I say Open Image in New Tab, and it'll open up the full resolution image. Now, because this is an older movie, it's not a high-resolution image necessarily, all right? So I can take this and I can drag it right down here, all right? Sometimes you may actually have to click on the picture, go to the website, right-click on it, and do the same thing, okay? All right? There's a few ways that you have to kind of get images. Now, depending on the things that you want to put together, it might be harder or easier to find images. All right? One way you can change the size. So large is an easy way to go and find images. Okay, we found that last image was 2400 by 1400. All right? What if I want bigger images? If I go into settings, I can go to an advanced search, and right next to image size, I can choose, and this used to be in actual regular normal Google image search. They moved it. I don't know why. I can say larger than 4 megapixels and do an advanced search. Okay, and that's going to get me bigger images. Okay, this one's 3520 by 1980. And I say open image in new tab. There it is. I can drag this. Okay, now.
Wait,
3500 by 1980. Okay, so if I take these, okay, and I don't care which way you bring photos into Photoshop, Sylvia, you should definitely be paying attention to this. Okay, you can either drag and drop it right in, all right, and make it a smart image to start. I would recommend that you right-click and rasterize it after you're done, okay? So that's the first way. You'll notice how big that image is. okay, on an 8 by 10 or a 10 by 8, if you will. So that image is just about 10 inches wide, okay? Here's the thing about resolution, all right? Currently, I have 300 pixels per inch in here, okay? So if I zoom in, oh, let me do this, make it easier. Where are you? There we go. If I drop this in and I scale this in, there are my pixels. So per inch, I have 300 of those, okay? When I take an image like this one, all right, let me rasterize it before I get all kinds of weird effects, and I just open it in Photoshop, it is currently 48 inches wide by 27 and a half inches long, okay? But it's at 72 DPI, which means it has 72 dots per inch, okay? So if you can imagine a box with 72 balls in it, okay? There's 72 of them per inch, right? When you go to 300 dots per inch, you're not adding more dots. The dots are just getting closer together, okay? So I bring this image into my 300 DPI image, and all of a sudden, it's only 10 inches wide. So what happens is, when you bring images like that, every image you download from Google, 99% of the images you download straight from Google Image Search will be 72 DPI. So when you bring them in and change them to 300 DPI, they get smaller because you can't add data. Well, Photoshop's kind of got a way you can, but we'll talk about that down the road, okay? So basically, you just are changing the size of the box. Am I making sense here? Yes. So imagine we had 100 baseballs, and we put them into a box that allowed the baseballs to be 72 of them per inch. If we take that box and we shrink it so that the baseballs are now 300 of them per inch, we still only have 100 baseballs. I know it's a weird math formula, but all we're doing is shrinking the box. We're not shrinking the pixels inside, okay? So you might bring your image in. This one came out pretty good. Let's see what this one comes in as. If I drop this in, same thing. These are both big enough that they live in this size. You might drop it in. If you bring it in and it's this big, you are not going to be able to scale it. It's going to become a watercolor painting. So you need to make sure when you bring it into Photoshop that you do it that way. Now, the way I do this, okay, I do it a little bit differently because mine, I guess basically you would call it old school, if you will, all right? I would basically take the images, I would open them up in Photoshop, and I would basically unlock them, and I would drag them to my comp, okay? If you drag it to your comp or do the drop into your comp and it's tiny, you got to find another image. Now, if this is my base image, meaning like let's say I was doing a composite where I was going to put like myself in Jurassic Park, all right? I need to take this image now and I need to scale it till it fits the 10 by 8. Yes, I understand it's going to get cropped. Yes, I understand your image is going to get cropped. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to constrain ourselves to a certain size. So I would need to scale this to a certain point. I'd be like, you know what? I want to be over here with the dinosaur. And I apply it. Now, I picked a movie from 1994. Okay? So the image is pixelated because it's an older image. I can still use this image. Okay? However, any image I put into it, I'm actually going to have to edit to fit the look of it. So if I take a picture of myself right now, it's going to be super high resolution. It's going to be clean and sharp. If I throw it into there, it's going to look really bad. Okay? So I would have to take that and go in and adjust it to make it look really bad. So the one thing they haven't shown you is how to make images look bad. So really quickly, let me do this. See if I can find a quick image. Let's go back to my good old buddy from Exploratory, Tom Cruise. Just love me some Tom Cruise. All right, so let's get, you guys missed Tom Cruise from Exploratory. Come on. All right. See if I can get no, I just need a high resolution. Give me a high resolution image of Tom, baby. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Let's see. Come on. There it is. All right, so I get Tommy. Tommy's with me, okay? Now, I bring Tommy into Jurassic Park. Look, he's smiling. He's with the dinosaur, okay? All right? And I'm going to rasterize it because I like to rasterize things, all right? Because I'm in Photoshop. Now I'm going to scale it, all right? And I'm going to put it down. Maybe he's just in the corner. He's like, hey, look at the dinosaur, okay? Now, that image does not match the image that's in here, right?
The really poor quality image.
So, where is he? Where are you, Tommy? Oh, no, I'm moving the image. Tommy!
The dinosaur looks like that one friend who always photobombs pictures.
I know. I wish I had like a full body one. I'd put him like on the dinosaur. But anyway. Okay, here he is. All right, let me move in here. Why is my space key not working? Weird. All right, so you'll see the two pieces, okay? There's a couple things you can do. You can go right into filter, and you can go to noise, and you can actually add noise, add speckle, okay? You can pixelate an image. So if I remember right, I think Mosaic worked best. Yep. So I could actually do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do, which is make an image look worse. Okay? So I can add pixels, okay? I can then go in and I could say filter, and I went back to noise. I'm going to say add noise, okay? And you can sit here and play with this until it matches the quality, or poor quality, if you will, of the image. So, just in case some of you end up picking like an older movie or something that images, I would suggest sticking with anything that's high resolution. It's just going to make your life easier.
Spider-Man.
But that's how you downgrade. Calm down. We're going to have a better day today than we did yesterday. All right? So, that just in case you need to downgrade an image, that's kind of how you would mess around to do it. Okay? But step one is to complete that tutorial. Like I said, some of it you're going to be like, oh, I remember how to do this, and I can just bang right through it. But it's just another reminder, because next week we're all about compositing that ad together. And next week, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No Friday. Okay? So we got 4 days next week. More than enough time for the project that I'm giving you. Okay? Okay?
Are we doing something different on Friday?
You have no school.